Hello, hello. Hello. Can you guys hear me? You know I'm going to ask that. Sound check, sound check. Hey, everybody. Let me look at chat. Yes, thumbs up. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, Rabbit. Good to see you. Hey, Irish. Goose. How are you? Skynet, Bunny, Mousy Files, Angie. Let me see. I'm going to go up here and see who I missed. Short Order Cook. You weren't too early. Was I on time? My laptop says it's 10:20. But it's 10 o'clock. So I was like, why is it wrong? It's totally wrong. Let's see. Wheezy, Triple Threat, good morning. Hey, everybody. If I didn't acknowledge you, hey, Grandma Kim. If I didn't say hi, it's not because I don't care. It's because, I am me. And I will, hey, Miss H. You can hear me. Good. Thank you, Goose. Hey, Texas country lady. Hey, Sherry from Canada. So, how is everybody doing? It's been a while. It has been a while. And I knew that we were going to have to kind of. Hey, Dana Brett, how are you? Good morning to you as well. Good morning to everybody, or afternoon, or evening, wherever it is that you are at. Hey, Miranda. So I'm going to start off by saying, like I always have to say, this is a live stream. So if I jump all over the place, forgive me. All of you that are in my chat, talking, people that are watching from the bushes that know me, you know how this goes. I'm going to say it up front. Don't come at me screaming about how I'm all over the place and just stick to what I'm doing. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay. You can go get the filings. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying, like, when I do a live stream, I like to talk to my chat. I like to see what you guys are saying. I'm not always going to be point by point on this. All right. I'll shut up about that. Oh, you had to go out. Can y'all all still hear me? Listening and cleaning. Oh, I think you said clean. Oh my God. See, look, listening in the bushes as you clean out the fridge. Oh, Sarah, we just got a new fridge. In fact, I broke my toe. It's the first bone, knock on wood, hopefully it never happens again. First bone I've ever broken. We were moving the new fridge in. We had to take the doors off. And I was holding the door and I went to lower it and it slipped out of my hands, landed on my foot, and I just heard it crunch. It was awful. Awful. So good. Now that we have a new one in, I'm happy. Rabbit, I was recently looking at how well Vic's Instagram account is doing. He has so many sponsors. Miranda and James. I know, Rabbit. That is what's so frustrating about this. It's so frustrating. Vic's family refused to participate. The only families of people that were in 7M that participated in the docuseries was Miranda's. I'm sorry, I just got a notification on something, so it kind of took me off. Was Miranda's and oh gosh, why is his name? Yeah, there was only two of them. You know who I'm talking about. It'll come to my mind in a second. I got distracted. And so Vic's family, James's family. I mean, James is sad because James is married to Miranda, so of course, he's just collateral damage. But they're a duo, so he's stuck with his wife. So, oh, you got a new fridge too, Miranda? Oh, Bunny, when did that happen? Did she do it again? Bunny says Katie Joy struck Charlotte's channel. I saw that she did it a while ago. Did she do it again? Did she get 2 strikes? You broke your pinky toe getting off the sofa, slammed it on the couch. I mean, I'm telling you, Sarah, like it hurt. I screamed and cried. Like, oh, you're not late, hot tea drinker. I just started. We're just catching up. I screamed and then cried like uncontrollably, like I couldn't. My husband's just looking at me like he didn't know what to do. Oh, it's the most recent strike, so she did it again. Can't wait for Katie to be bankrupted, in my opinion, so she can pay the 40 million she should have to go to prison. I mean, if if there's like a criminal situation that comes outside of this, we might see that, but you were curious on what basis Charlotte got struck. I don't know. I'll have to ask Charlotte because I know when she did, I sent her a message because I was asking, and we talked a little bit about it. About, obviously she was going to appeal it. So I don't know what happened with that. But, back to, what Rabbit said about Vic being so successful in this, his family didn't engage. The other dancers that were in at the time did not, their families refused, and they're doing well. The two that whose families went on Netflix and gave all their whole spiel, their careers are gone. And the only hope for Miranda and James is that they get some justice out of this lawsuit, but it doesn't bring back what they had. But heaven forbid anyone strike KJ. I know, right? Yeah, how dare you? I mean, if you were to strike KJ, can you imagine? Mousy Files, I oh, hold on, I can't do that from here. I was gonna pin you, but I can't. I'm looking through a different oh shit, of course now I'm gone. Um I this is just my own personal belief. Hey, Misty Mo. Um it's my own. I was trying to get back to your comment. Geez Louise. About where was it? Oh, he's with Red Bull now. Anyways, I lost the comment I was looking for because I switched screens back. Oh, the copyright strikes don't work the same anymore. I need to look into that. Mousy Files. Do you know they're at? Can you put it in here or just tell me how to find that video or find what they did? Because I'm not familiar with them. I don't think. But I saw someone say, that they're kind of hoping that Katie Joy will have some consequences. I personally, this is my own personal belief. We're at a stage with this whole situation with Robert Shin. We're going to get into all of this, right? That because of the situation with Robert Shin, hold on, let me mute for a second. Because of the situation with Robert Shin, I wonder what could happen with charges against Katie Joy. I mean, I understand that's a long shot. Maybe it's not. I don't want to get into what I believe or what I've heard, but Robert Shin was raided. And 7M has said in this court, to this judge in this court, that their raid was due to Katie Joy inciting people to go report. Now, was it only Katie Joy? No. Was she 100% responsible? No. I mean, we can't be that silly, right? But if that's the case, and Robert Shin is not indicted, and we're going to get into that in a second, are they going to turn around and do an investigation on her? Thank you, Better with the Irish. Thank you so much. There's a channel. Do you mind sending that to me separately too, Irish? I'll have to look at that. Thank you. Oh, she's still hoping for the rest, Bunny. So let's talk about that real quick. As of right now, what are we? June 4th. In black and white, okay. If Robert Shin has until July 6th. If he's not indicted by July 6th, he will not be. It is my belief, for my own reasons, I'm not saying believe me, and I'm not stating this as a fact. It is my belief that Robert Shin has already been cleared, that Robert cleared to a degree. I can't say he's been 100% cleared, but that he is not going to be indicted, that there was an agreement. Okay. But because it's a federal situation, his case is sealed. So we can't see all that, right? We can't see what's happened. What we can see are the filings that were filed between the government and his attorneys where they made a stipulated agreement on an extension. Okay. This is technically the third extension, but this was granted until July 6th. Okay. So in black and white, until we hit July 6th and there's no indictment, okay, that's going to be a bad day for Katie Joy. Right now, we can't see those filings to see because it's sealed. And unless Robert Shin comes out and says, yeah, you know what, like I was returned all my money, I was returned in part, whatever it may be. So, oh, Christine, they should go after her for false reports. That's what I'm saying is I think that once all of this is behind Robert Shin, I think there could be. That's just my own personal opinion. Don't quote me. I think there could be some serious issues with Katie Joy. So, yeah, it's July 6th or bust. And I'm telling you, if he hasn't been indicted by now, he's not going to. My firm belief, because that's what I've heard and what I've seen just from these filings, they came to an agreement just before this judge ruled on this last extended extension. Agreed upon extension. I think they did come to an agreement, is my understanding. But again, until it shows, I can't say that because again, it's all sealed. I don't have access to those documents. So, July 6th, one more month, y'all. One more month. She's going to lose her shit July 6th. Mousy Files, she already knows. I guarantee you she already knows. She has information that we just don't have because of this lawsuit and what her attorneys know. His attorneys know. Guarantee this court knows. So let's get into what was filed yesterday on the 3rd. I think that we just saw it on the 3rd. I think Katie Joy probably saw it possibly on Friday. That's just speculation on my part, but I'm pretty sure she saw it way before we did. If she's a reason for the raid, they could go after her for resources, expenses wasted, correct? Oh, I'm pretty sure Donna Britt. I mean, again, it would have to be, we don't know what they would be investigating her for. We don't know what the charges would be, you know. She cried Saturday apparently and had a meltdown. I know I saw that post. I think, did Balls post that? Saw it somewhere. Yeah, the very minute this case wraps up, you have that Todd Chrisley swoops in. Come on, Mr. Chrisley. I had faith in you, sir. I really did, my friend. What are you doing? What are you doing? Put your life on hold. This is more important. You got to make all of us happy over here. So let's look at what what was filed. And y'all, this is not a huge thing. Okay. This is not saying, yeah, the judge is agreeing that this is, you know, defamatory or anything like that. But this is a step in the right direction. It's definitely in 7M's favor and not Katie Joy's, right? So let's take a peek at this. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but oh, let me do something real quick. Let me give some memberships while we're on here. Let's see. I'm going to give some memberships now. I'm going to gift 5 now, and then I'll gift 5 in a bit. So if you have your settings turned on and you're in the bushes, go ahead and turn it off. But let's get this over with quick. Not get this over with, but let's do this quick. Let's see. If you received a membership, welcome. I'm going to give 5 more in just a bit. Goose, I swear I'm never going to see your name in green, am I, ma'am? What is going on? Hey, Vicky. So, okay, let me get back to this. All right, so let's read. I'm not going to be looking at chat for a second. mods, if you need me for anything, you can send me a message. Okay. Basically, what this is this is just the judge saying, you know, what 7M has submitted as far as the amended complaint is fine, right? It has all the same. If they came in and they were trying to amend the complaint and they're trying to add new parties and all this, the complaint that wouldn't fly, right? But this judge is basically saying it's all the same parties, same alleged conduct, same cause of action, same causes of action that have already been litigated. It's not too far out of the realm. And the things that Katie was arguing, that's really for another time. But let's just kind of look through this quick. It says, just the history of it. On March 31st, 2022, 7M, Robert Shen, et cetera, they sued Katie Joy. They contend that Katie's reporting on them has lowered the estimation of them in the community to the extent that they have lost contracts and brand deals, resulting in significant financial loss. Paulson either knew it was false or acted in reckless disregard for its truth or falsity. The amended complaint contains 9 counts. The original amended complaint contains 9 counts. This one only contains 8, so I'm kind of confused by that. But it says that the original complaint had 85 statements, and on June 23rd of 2025, regarding the summary judgment, the ruling, granted in part these statements, these 13 statements. And remember, those 13 statements that the judge was like, okay, yeah, she granted in favor of, right? Those 13 statements were because she couldn't access them. And Katie was like, I want half my lawsuit. Remember all that shit? Better like maybe next time. Oh, let me do another one. Let me do 5 more. So, oh, thank you so much, Skynet. I just saw that you gifted, and somebody else did as well. Hang on, y'all. Let me go back. Missy. Oh, okay. Donna, I was thinking about you. How are you doing, my friend? All right. Skynet, thank you so much. That was 5 gifted memberships. If you received one, welcome. Skynet's in the chat. You can always thank them. Donna gifted 5 Southern memberships as well. Thank you so much, Donna. Donna, I've been meaning to check in on you, see how you are doing. How are you doing? For all of us that have lost a pet, Donna lost one recently, and she was y'all. And Donna, I was thinking about you the other day because I lost my little guy. He actually died in my arms on Memorial Day 3 years ago. I cannot believe it's been 3 years. And literally the other day, I just broke down and started crying. I miss him so much, still to this day. I got a perfect little replacement. He is an angel. He's a turd. I love him with all of my heart. I wonder if these new statements can be argued in court to demonstrate actual malice on KJ's part. Bunny, yes. And we're going to talk about that too, as to why this is, we're all kind of frustrated as to how long this case has taken. But look, there's some good perks on this. It's me. Oh, Skynet Unitopia. Okay, look at you confusing me. Hey, Unitopia, thank you so much. And I won't remember that. You're probably going to have to keep reminding me. You know how my mind works. We got our boy back with us. Thanks for asking. All right, Donna. Thank you for being a member for 6 months. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Let me gift while I'm on this page. I'm just going to go ahead and give them all out today because I always forget, and then I lose them, and then I don't get, because I get 10 a month to give out. There we go. There's 5 more. Good to see all of you. Welcome. Okay, let me get back to it. So let's see. So basically, those statements in the original summary judgment, the judge wasn't able to access them, so she did grant in favor of. And then on December 17th, 2025, the court entered an order granting in part and denying in part defendant's motion for reconsideration. And within that judgment, there's all these statements. Let me see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. 33, I think it is, statements. But where they said, okay, yeah, because keep in mind, Katie Joy said, okay, we need to reconsider this, judge. Like, your summary judgment, your ruling is wrong. You're dumbass. You're wrong, right? And so the judge said, fine, okay, yeah. So she granted that. And through Katie Joy's argument, she's saying, look, a lot of this is ambiguous. Like, they haven't specified what exactly I said in that live string or in that post that was defamatory. So the judge said, okay, yeah, you know what, Katie Joy, you're right, I agree. And so I'm going to allow 7M the opportunity to amend their complaint and specify. And so it says, however, the court indicated that plaintiffs could move to amend their complaint regarding the statements on which summary judgment was granted that required more specificity. And 7M did just that. And when 7M did that, they went back, and all these statements that we saw before, that the judge was like, can't access them or whatever, they respecified with more specificity those statements and added over 100 new ones. So it says plaintiffs have now moved to file a second amended complaint. Defendants categorize the motion as futile because every statement fails as a matter of law. Specifically, defendants argue that the claims are time barred, the content is non-actionable, and plaintiffs have offered no proof of falsity or actual malice of any statement. And then we're going to see where the judge basically says, well, that's not an argument for here, Katie Joy. You need to file another dispositive motion. And a dispositive motion is a motion that would end this case, right? Like a motion to dismiss. That would be a ruling that would end the case to where, this is headed to trial, but there could be something that happens where there's an order and it ends the case. So dispositive motion, motion to dismiss, motion for default judgment, motion for summary judgment, right? We've seen all three of those in this case. Katie Joy's original motion to dismiss was denied. 7M filed a motion for default judgment because Katie Joy had not filed her answer yet, and that was denied. And then we had the summary judgment. And so I'm pretty sure that Katie Joy, I would almost guarantee it, that Katie Joy is going to file another summary judgment in this. I'll kind of get into my thoughts on that in just a second, but we'll kind of go through this. But basically, that's what Katie was saying, that the claims are time barred, the content is non-actionable, and 7M has offered no proof of falsity. Katie also requests, this is funny to me, y'all. Katie also requests certification of 2 questions for immediate appellate review. So, does it show here what the questions are? Let me see. So 7M, Katie Joy was like, hey, basically, we're going to appeal all this, but I'm going to try to appeal it right now. And hang on, y'all, I got a message. This is awful for Katie. No bueno. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. We still have a long ways to go, but this is going in the right direction. Hey, Renelle. Yes, this is where the party's at. Woo, woo. Too bad I don't have a party song. I need to get on that, don't I, Renelle? How you doing? How you doing? So basically, Katie Joy was asking the judge to certify 2 legal questions that she had. And I can't remember. I know it had to do with the I know it had to do, one of them had to do with the idea that there's a new anti-SLAPP law in Minnesota. And Katie Joyce saying, look, that applies here. And this is going to be an appeal, right? This allows me to appeal this because there's an anti-SLAPP. And at this stage, you cannot appeal every ruling like as it happens. And so certification is an exception to that rule. And so Katie's basically saying, look, asshole, this needs to be appealed. And I'm requesting that this go to an appellate court and these questions be answered by them. Yeah, Renelle, I agree with you. That's what I was just about to say. I swear you could read my mind. And so they wanted this certification from the court to be like, look, anti-SLAPP law applies here. I think the other one had to do with the time bar, saying that that there was a statute of limitations on time. I know we've talked about that in the past, and it does apply possibly. So I think that that's what she's wanting. But the judge, I don't know if y'all can even see what I have up on screen or not. And if not, I apologize. It's easier for me to do it this way. But again, y'all, listen, this is not a huge filing. This is not. It's good that the judge was like, yeah, it's all within line. You can file your amended complaint, which the judge gives, we'll get to this, but the judge gives them 7M 10 days to file this. And in those 10 days, which I'm sure we'll see it very soon, once that's filed, this becomes the new, this trumps the old order. This is the new lawsuit. And then she'll be held accountable. She'll be held to those 212 statements. So then Katie's next move is to do anything she can to get some of these statements knocked off, right? To get them dismissed. I wish the judge could actually say, shut the fuck up, Katie. You're being sued. But the judge did say in here, and I'm about to read that to you, where she says, you kept talking. So basically, this judge says that the cited law, and this is, I think Renelle went over this in her video. So if somebody can drop Renelle's link to her channel, she has a video where she talks about this too. And it's funny because it's like it makes you wonder, because you hear this a lot about AI and how AI will cite wrong laws or even make up incorrect laws, and it's being cited in like motions, right? So it makes you wonder, this goes back to what Renelle said here a second ago, makes you wonder, is Katie Joy using AI? Right? Is Katie Joy have Chat GPT or whatever she would have used to say, yeah, look, this case law or whatever. And this judge is saying that doesn't even apply. She says, that what Katie cited as Minnesota rule is wrong. Right? So it's funny. It's funny. It's funny as hell to me. And so I think Renelle's right. Like, why? How do you not know that you're citing that? So Katie Joy wanting to have, the certification from the appellate court, the judge is like, no. So Katie was, okay, let me go back to this. Let me go back. I keep changing screens, so I'm getting lost on where I'm at. Just bear with me. Y'all know how I am. Says the court has discretion regarding the amendment of pleadings, and its decision will not be reversed in the absence of clear abuse of discretion. basically saying that what Katie Joy cited is wrong. So, and why? And that leave to amend the pleadings should be liberally granted, except where it would result in prejudice to the other party. Ordinarily, unless a party opposing an amendment can establish some prejudice other than merely having to defend against an additional claim or defense, an amendment will be allowed. The court finds that amendment is appropriate and in the interest of justice. The proposed amended complaint involves the same parties, the same alleged conduct, and the same causes of action. The court contemplated the possible amendment of plaintiff's complaint in the December 17th, 2025 order. Furthermore, Ms. Paulson has continued to make alleged defamatory statements against plaintiffs since the filing of plaintiff's amended complaint filed on April 7th of 2022. So because Katie Joy can't shut the hell up, because she, as we know, this whole time is saying, oh, he's going to be indicted. He's going to be in prison. I'm going to be vindicated. This all goes away. Hey, Balls 2.0. It was KJ's friend first. Well, I don't know if that's a good friend to have because she just got called out on this in this order. She just got called out. Yeah. I know. Rabbits. Rabbit says, why can I not? I'm swear, y'all, I am, I need to stop going from screen to screen because I can't pin you. You know what I'm realizing is whenever I'm just in, that's the only fridge she has. I can't pin comments whenever I'm in my YouTube. And when I'm in StreamYard, what I'm realizing is normally I'm looking at it through StreamYard. I don't see all my comments in StreamYard. So I'm getting like a third of the comments. Yeah, right, Balls. You like Restream better? Yeah, I paid for a year of StreamYard, so I'm stuck with it. I think it was February that I did that. I mean, it was a good deal. I had to pay up front for a full year, and it came down to like less than $20 a month. So I did it, and I'm stuck. I need to go live more, man. I need to utilize that. But maybe I'll consider Restream. I think that's what Charlotte uses now is Restream. I think a lot of people switched over because StreamYard got so expensive. All right. So furthermore, Ms. Paulson has continued to make alleged defamatory statements against plaintiffs since the filing of plaintiff's amended complaint filed on April 7th, 2022. By allowing amendment, the court makes no findings regarding the merits of plaintiff's claims to those statements. So we need to remember that this is not saying, yeah, I'm going to allow this because you're right. You know, these are all defamatory. That's not what this is. Okay. So let's not get our hopes up yet. This is just saying, but this is good. But it's just saying that, yes, you can file that amended complaint. You have 10 days to do so, right? And then, Katie Joy, you can make all the arguments you tried to argue where you're saying that, you know, because Katie failed to show sufficient prejudice that would justify denying the amendment, right? So she's got a lot to argue. I've got the, her opposition to the motion to amend complaint that Katie Joy filed, she did a lot of arguing there, and she did like a really good like layout, like grid system of everything. It was all color coded. And Barney, no sir. And so it was all color coded and all that. And it was actually pretty decent. You could tell somebody helped her or something. So there was a change there. But we talked about that before. If we have time, I might pull that up again because there's some things to show. But Katie Joy was making this argument in her objection to this motion to amend complaint, and the judge is saying, okay, this isn't the place for it. I'm going to allow this to be filed. And once it does, that's it, y'all. That means that there's now 212 Joy that could potentially go to trial and be in front of a jury. That's huge. So Katie's next steps are to do everything she can to try to get a lot of these statements dismissed. Okay. So it says, however, the court finds it is in the interest of judicial economy to address those statements in this lawsuit, given the time already expended by the parties and the court in this matter. The court has a solid understanding of the parties, facts, and claims asserted. So Katie Joy, quit trying to say that this judge doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. This judge has no idea, because she's saying to you right now that this court has a solid understanding of the parties, facts, and claims asserted. Were plaintiffs to file another lawsuit against defendants regarding subsequent statements, it would be a further strain on judicial resources and time. Ultimately, this new amended complaint is like a new lawsuit, right? In a sense. Like if it would have been denied, 7M might have just turned around and resued Katie, right? So, and this judge knows that. The judge also knows that Katie Joy is going to do everything to appeal. And she nipped it in the bud. Thankfully, Katie Joy didn't cite the right thing. And the judge is like, yeah, no, that's denied. So you're not going to get a certification from a higher court, from the appellate court now. So anything to appeal during this process, I think Katie Joy is pretty screwed. It's going to be after the fact. And I think this judge is doing everything she can to where there's not a good grounds for appeal in the future. Why would they be dismissed? Rabbit, are you asking why the statements would be dismissed? It's exact. So now what we're doing, okay, so where we're standing right now, when they file this order, when they file this new amended complaint, it's all starting over again. Katie Joy has to file a new answer, right? She has to respond to this. And she's already said she's going to file a special motion to dismiss, because she says that she should fall under the category, this whole new anti-SLAPP law that was passed in Minnesota, I believe in May of 2024. She's saying that applies to her. So she's saying that she's going to file a motion to dismiss. She's also, she's going to be filing a motion to dismiss these statements, because these statements should not be allowed in, because she's saying that anti-SLAPP would protect her from that. She also says there's a certain amount of statements that fall under she's saying they're time barred, right? That the statute of limitations has passed. And to some degree, she's right, but that's at the judge's discretion to decide. So basically, she's going to have to answer possibly to these 212 statements. If we look at the pattern of things and how this judge is basically saying, you know what, this is a matter for the jury to decide, just to put it kind of plainly, this is going to head to trial for a jury to decide. If she said that with all the other statements, she's more than likely going to say it with these two. So Katie's going to have to really have a very strong argument with these statements. So we're going to go through the same process again. Motion to dismiss. She's going to file a motion for summary judgment. So we're going to have another motion for summary judgment. Pretty damn sure. I'd be shocked if she doesn't. And then once that happens, we'll see the ruling on that and see if she's able to argue through this. But keep in mind, 7M just went through this. 7M, Amber Stavig is smart, clearly, and she's going to know. She's already been through this once. She knows what the judge is looking for. She knows what she needs to do. She knows what she's going to have to argue. Like, I think they've got this in the bag. Yeah, the slap thing, Rabbit. So, yeah, the judge has read over everything in short order. Do I think a jury would side with Katie? Katie's not likable. You think a jury won't like Robert? You know, um, I don't know. He's very timid. The way he I think the way that he shows himself can be very timid and quiet little Asian man. We know that that's not how he is. If Katie's able to bring in, um, I think there's video, but there's definitely audio of his sermons and stuff like that. And so that might not be a good look for him. But I think the jury's going to fall in love with Miranda and James. And I think they're going to get annoyed with Katie Joy. Mousy Falls, if I was on the jury, I wouldn't side with Katie. No. But knowing what we know, okay, so that's a very good point because this is a place where we say this. There are 212 statements. I'm here to let you know. Okay, so let's say there was a post and it's a very long post and there's one sentence out of that post that 7M says. Because keep in mind, the judge said, go back and respecify. Go back with specificity and let me know what statements you say are defamatory. So if there was a post that was really long, there was one sentence in there. 7M went back and they said, this is what we find defamatory in this post. Let's say there was an hour-long live stream that she did, as we know she did. And at the 24-minute mark, Katie Joy said this. This is what we think is defamatory in that live stream. And then at the 48-minute mark, we find this defamatory. I went through all 212 of those. I'm at about 195, I think, that I've completed. So we're going to be able to go through every single statement, not the whole post, not the whole live, these statements, the exact statements that 7M has put in this amended complaint that they say are defamatory. And it's going to be great. It's going to take us a long time. We're going to talk about that in a bit, how we're going to do that, how we're going to get through all that. But I was waiting to make sure that the judge did grant this. Did I think it was going to be granted? Yes. Never say never. So I wasn't going to hold to it. So we're going to go over all 212 of those statements. Okay. And if they get dropped off, then we'll go back. Like if we go through another summary judgment and some of them are dismissed or whatever it may be, we'll go through and we'll reiterate that those were taken off. Do I think there's anything that's going to be taken off that? Well, I can't speculate. Somebody else go there, but I think the judges made it in their instructions very clear that Amber has followed the court's instructions. Jen, on the other hand, I think they both kind of got a tongue lashing, and we're going to go through that in a second. I think the judge reprimanded both of them. I do think it was more towards Jennifer, but I think they've both kind of made, and I'm going to go through that right now. I'm going to finish reading this. Maybe Katie should be quiet, sit back and let her attorney do her job and get, I know, right? Give ChatGPT a break, man. She's been quiet. And I think she's been quiet because Robert Shin is not going to be indicted. I think she's gotten word that they're not doing anything. And that's a big FUCKED, Katie Joy. And so she's not going to go tell her people that she was wrong. She's not going to talk about that. Are you kidding? Now, if something happens, yeah, she'd be all over it. She'd be risking it. She risked it before because she was so certain he was going to be indicted, and look where it got her. Okay. So I'm going to finish reading this because there's some things I want to say, and this points it all out. We can talk about it as we get through it. Additionally, defendants have not demonstrated prejudice sufficient to justify denying the amendment. The fact that Katie Joy will have to defend against these additional claims does not establish prejudice. 7M has this right. Furthermore, the parties have yet to comply. Okay, so this is what we were just talking about. Furthermore, the parties, okay, so both parties have yet to comply with the court's discovery order entered on January 29th, 2024, and this matter has not been set for trial. Okay, this judge just said both parties have yet. So that means to this date, right? We know Katie Joy has not submitted tax records. And the thing with, so Katie Joy hasn't submitted her tax records. That we know. And she's saying, look, 7M hasn't stuck to their end of the bargain, right? Keep in mind, the fact that we got this order today or yesterday is great. But there are those other motions that need to be ruled upon. We are still waiting on orders for those motions. That the hearing was on December 31st, and then there was there was an extension granted for some reason. I can't remember why. I cannot off the top of my head remember. If y'all remember, remind me. But from December 31st, she was granted up until February something. But then there was the hearing on February 9th, which was the pre-trial hearing where all parties were required to appear in person. Remember, Katie Joy was like, they're not serious about this, so none of them are going to show. Bullshit. They all showed. And then Katie Joy went straight to YouTube that night, February 9th, and was like, I'm a victim of them because they're saying that the raid was because of me, that I was solely responsible for the raid. I'm a victim, right? They are trying to frame me. Remember all that bullshit? Yeah, balls, if it's Katie Joy against Miranda, we know who's going to win that one. No, there's no way people will choose KJ over Miranda. I agree with you on that one. I think Miranda's ready to make a public statement and use her voice because KJ and her family stole it. I think that they've got things in the works and how to recover from this. Unfortunately, they have to get through this. And unfortunately, it's been 4 years, but Katie kept going so hard at them that it turned to where they had to delete their social media. She took everything away from them. I said it. I stand by what I say. I firmly believe that. Those are my beliefs. I'm entitled to that. I don't know about that better with the Irish, but I mean, it's definitely a jury trial. They requested that from the onset. If that's what you're asking, maybe I'm confused. 7M has followed all orders. Okay, so what Katie Joy is saying, if I remember correctly, again, there's still some motions that we need to get the rulings on, and that's going to give us a really good feeling of what this judge is thinking. Remember, Katie Joy is saying that she filed a motion for contempt, saying that 7M hasn't complied with all discovery. She's saying that 7M still needs to provide proof of monetization for their social media. And she's standing really firm on that. Like, look, you still owe us this. It took 7M a long time to provide certain things, but they did. Okay. And they're saying basically 7M, what Katie Joy is saying, you need to provide monetization. That was requested in discovery. 7M is saying, no, it was not requested in discovery. The initial interrogatories or, to provide documents, right? It did not ask, y'all, my dog's snoring. I apologize if you hear. You did not originally ask for proof of monetization for all their social medias. You did not. And later on, you realized that was a mistake. So that's your error. Sorry, I can't help you. But we did go ahead, even though we didn't have to, we submitted some of it. And Katie Joy is saying, no, you were supposed to submit it all, and you only gave me some of it. Right? But 7M is saying, sucks to be you. You failed to request that. You never requested it. You realized later on. And that is where Katie Joy's team is saying, Katie Joy should be able to see all this. Like, you need to remove the attorney's eyes only stipulation because Katie Joy is the expert in social media here. And because Katie Joy is the expert, she needs to be able to see all this information regarding their social media monetization and how much money they made, etc. Right? And I just think that we got to see what the judge says. So the judge says here that as of yet, they haven't complied. So that could mean that the judge is finding 7M that they haven't filed what they needed to file either. Oh, I see what you're saying, Irish. No, yeah, they definitely is going to be a jury trial. I mean, maybe not. If it's so, you're saying it's a standard practice request jury trial, but not sure if that's the option. And you can request a bench trial. I know they've requested a jury trial both times. We'll see. Yeah, yeah. I remember talking about this crap 2 years ago. It never ends. I want to move on with my life too, Rabbit. I'm ready for this to end so I can stop talking about her, and then I'm done. I'm done. I'll be done. Probably done with YouTube altogether. What discovery is 7M missing? Yeah, that's what Katie Joy is saying has to do with their monetization. And that's what, remember what she filed in the last motion that we're still waiting for ruling on, that that's what her contempt. And then she's saying to remove attorney's eyes only stipulation. She wants discovery to be made public. What else was there? Wasn't there a third one? Balls, do you remember? Was there a third one? Renell, Rabbit, do y'all remember? Irish, do you remember? Goose, do you remember? Misty, do you remember? I want to say there was a third thing. And then 7M's motion was for sanctions. No, contempt. 7M filed for contempt. Katie Joy filed for sanctions. That's what it was. Saying that 7M hasn't complied with everything. And 7M is basically like sanctions. Renell says, okay, so I did cover the third thing. So basically 7M is saying, you never asked for that. You're wrong. Sucks to be you. We'll see what the judge says. Like, again, that this order has nothing to do with that really, but the wording tells me if the judge is saying as of yet parties have not complied, it makes me wonder what this order is going to say about that. It's an information overload, so I can't keep up ever. Misty, I expect you to be taking notes. Are you not taking notes during my live stream? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you, Misty? All of you. Here, I got this. I got this for y'all.
It has not been filed in court. If you are a YouTuber and you are talking about this case, you did not get it from me. You got it from the cult.
Did y'all see that? I'm on a delay. Your notes would need notes. When I'm looking at my YouTube, it's a huge delay. What's this one?
I am all about ruining your life and laughing at your frivolous lawsuit you think you can file against me. But my legal team is the best dream team around, so good luck with that. But if you say anything about me publicly, I will scream victim faster than I will slam this bottle of cheap Spanish red. Wait, I drank my last bottle for breakfast.
That's AI. I have to say, that's AI. You got it from the cult. All right. Okay, so even, and then it says furthermore, the parties have yet to comply with the court's discovery order entered on January 29, 2024, and this matter has not been set for trial. Even though this case has been pending for 4 years, very little progress has been made. This is due in large part to the parties' persistent filing of motions, their inability to resolve disputes outside of court involvement, and their failure to comply with court orders. In my opinion, this judge is getting on both parties. She looks better with AI, I know, Rabbit. The judge is getting on both parties here, and it is true. Okay, it's true. I'm not going to sit here and break it down as to what this is what the judge says. We're gonna, we just move on from there, right? Because what's really gonna matter is these orders. What this judge is gonna say next in these orders, and it could come out. If anybody wants to check the docket, Balls, I know you check the docket a lot, probably as much as I do. I'm guessing, because I see you putting stuff up. If you want to check the docket and see if anything's posted while I'm live, that'd be great. Because I expect that we will see these rulings soon. I do. Finally, the argument posed by defendant are legal issues more appropriately raised in a dispositive motion. So basically, judge is saying, look, I'm granting this to be filed. It's your job. All these arguments need to be, take that up in a separate motion. A dispositive motion meaning summary judgment, motion to dismiss, etc. The court will extend the dispositive motion deadline to provide defendants with the opportunity to fully argue these legal issues by way of the correct pleading. So you wasted your time. Well, she didn't waste her time because now she'll just transfer that over to her new to her new motion or whatever. Again, what she argued all of this in her opposition to this motion to amend the complaint. Defendants request that the court certify 2 questions for immediate appellate review. Certification is permitted if the trial court certifies that the question presented is important and doubtful from an order which denies a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, or from an order which denies a motion for summary judgment. Because certification under the rule applies only to denied motions to dismiss or denied motions for summary judgment, certification is not appropriate. So the rule that Katie Joy stated does not even apply because that only applied to denied motions. So not appropriate, Katie Joy. How would Jennifer Moore not know this? Like we said, I think a lot of this could be. Oh, that's right, Missy Mo on civil law. I was like, no, got it from the court. Same with Emily D. Baker, right? I hope he will too, Bunny. Balls, pay attention. Are you not taking notes either? What's going on? Oh, I just said, I think I asked if anybody's in here that that checks the docket regularly to see if there's anything on the docket. I have to re-sign in. I can do that in a minute. But if anybody's looking at the docket, because I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see something filed today, tomorrow. I wouldn't expect anything to be later than next week. But I think the public, should file it for it to be streamed publicly. Oh, Irish, yeah. I don't know how to say this without like setting all the alarm bells, but yeah, I agree. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I agree. There are ways. I'll say that. The irony of all this, Katie Joy runs her channels like a cult would. I know. There's a lot of people that call Katie Joy a cult leader, right? So, plaintiff's motion to amend complaint granted. Plaintiffs shall file their amended complaint within 10 days. So, we will see this amended complaint filed, and then it trumps the original. And that is what needs to be answered. That will be what, what's the word I'm looking for? That everything will follow. That's what the old one will be gone. Those original 85 statements will be wrapped up into this new one, and then 100 plus more statements will be entered. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Defendants may file responsive pleading in accordance with the Minnesota Rules of Civil Procedure. The dispositive motion deadline is hereby extended to August 31st, 2026. So the judge is basically giving her 90 days to file her dispositive motion. Defendant's request for certification is denied. So motion to amend complaint is granted, and request for certification is denied. So, again, oh, you're on it, balls. Thank you. Let me see here. Could you imagine a jury seeing KJ's forgetting to log out of her Sulk account? I know. See, there's the thing. I know that God, if the jury only knew what we know, right? But that's not how our system works. So they're not going to know anything. And all they're going to know is pretty much what's in this new complaint, which is 212 statements. Now, some of those will probably be dropped at some point. We've got to get through all this. There's a lot left, y'all. This is just a good step forward because now, look, this is going to cost, if anything, this is going to cost Katie Joyce so much money. This is going to cost Katie Joyce so much money because she's having to file these motions. Her attorneys are probably going to pay closer attention now. They might not let her draft. Let's say she was drafting it. I can't say that she was. I don't know. Let's say she was drafting them herself. Let's say she was using AI. I don't know. Let's just say she was. And that's where these mistakes came from. I doubt her attorneys are going to allow that to happen anymore. Right? So her attorneys are going to probably be paying more attention, which is going to equate to more money. Unless they did all this themselves, then Katie, you got a really shitty attorney. You got a really shitty legal team. Just my opinion. So we will go over all of these 212 statements. I will go live. I've got some of them now. We've only been on an hour. Do you want to start looking at some of them? I've gotten number 1 through 139 ready to show. Y'all want to start them? As a reminder, because the first 85 of them are going to be the original complaint parts. Well, that's not technically true because some of them were dropped off and some of them, but the first, it's called 70 something will be from the original complaint. And 7M went back to specify exactly what it was. So let me take that off. Let me see if I can get this up for y'all. Oh, wait, Ripsy. Did I just do that wrong? Yeah, I did that wrong. Oh, shit. How do I put that back? Y'all can't trust me to do anything. This is the one I wanted to separate. Okay. All right, give me a second. I need to... I got to sign back into my YouTube. Hang on one second, y'all. Bear with me. I can't do this without having some flaw. I came on to do a live a couple weeks ago on a Friday regarding Gabby Jacobson. And hang on. Okay, there we are. I came on a live stream a couple weeks ago to talk about Gabby Jacobson, and I was so heated. And I don't do that. I don't knee jerk. I don't get upset and then come online and talk about it. It's just not how I do it. And I don't talk about kids on my channel. With Gabby Jacobson, I might eventually. But everything I was doing, everything just kept going wrong. My Wi-Fi kept cutting out. And it was such a shit show that I kept telling myself, I guess the universe is telling me, do not talk about this. Like, stop talking about it. And then my computer just crashed. Like, it just 100% just crashed to where I had to end it. So I just deleted that altogether because it was like, no, it's not how you do stuff. That was total shit show. Today I'm doing better. So give me a round of applause in the chat. Tell me how good I'm doing. Just kidding. Or yes, you can give me a round of applause. All right. Where did it go? Here. All right. I think I've got it now. Hey, Gingerly, it's okay. Better late than never. Glad to have you here. Glad to see you. Nothing new on the docket. Thanks, balls. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you for clapping for me. Didn't mean to spell that way. So Ginger, we just went over a ruling. I mean, the new order. The judge granted 7M's motion to amend their complaint. So, thank you. See, look, I'm going to put this up here to show y'all how great I'm doing. The judge granted 7M's motion to amend the complaint, and basically, that will be entered within 10 days. That will take over the original. So there'll be 212 statements. Basically, this resets it, kind of like she was being sued over again. So she'll have to answer. We'll be waiting for an answer. And then she'll be filing a motion. I'm sure she'll be filing a motion for summary judgment. She says she's going to file a motion for a special motion to dismiss. So this is not a huge thing. It's not the judge saying, oh, yeah, this is defamatory. Yeah, it's basically saying it follows in with everything that their amended complaint involves the same parties, the same alleged conduct, and the same cause of action, right? And that Katie failed to show sufficient prejudice that would justify denying the amendment. So basically, it's a procedural win, okay? It's more procedural than anything, but it gives 7M the upper hand because now there's going to be 212 statements that Katie Joy has to argue against. So that's good. That is good. Let me see. Wait, that's the wrong thing. All right, so if I can get this on my screen properly. Is that better? Okay. Hold on. I have such a... Oh, hold on. Y'all, it's not showing on my end whenever I'm in YouTube. But y'all see that? Do you see where it says the number 1? What? Oh, you know what? I wasn't in here to see this. Thank you, Misty Mo, sent Flow State for. See, I saw that there's this new, I guess, jewels that you can send. I guess as gifts, kind of like TikTok. How TikTok has gifts. I keep seeing it in people's chat. Thank you, Misty Mo. I missed it because I was too busy screwing around trying to get. It's not showing up on my screen. But y'all see it? Like when I'm in YouTube, looking at my live stream and I do not, there it goes. It just showed it. God, I hope y'all don't have the same delay I have. So you can see where it says the 7 mountains of influence, a Pentecostal belief. Man, I'm really delayed. Bunny, it says I had some gems or something to give. Well, I appreciate you giving them to me. So I said, okay. I know I haven't done it yet in anybody's chats, but I'll be in people's chats and they're getting all these little things. Yeah, again, it's just, it's like TikTok, I think. So thank you. You're missing half of your right pinky. Oh, goodness. So sometimes you hit crazy keys. I do that with all my fat fingers. I'm always like hitting shit wrong. And I have no excuse because I got all my fingers. Right? So what's mine? Mine's just, I'm just clumsy. I know. I'm telling you what they've done to Miranda. I have no idea. I have no idea, Skynet. Wait, are you Unitopia? See, look, I already forgot. It'll be easy to identify your body in the morgue. That's true. I wonder, my husband, he'd be easy because he's had so many, like from the army, like he's had his shoulder replaced, his knee. He's had all kinds of botch surgeries. The VA like did such botch surgeries that I had him redone. Pretty awful. See, I know. It's not that you confuse me. It's just that I have a very. You can see how short my memory span is. However, I can remember the weirdest dates on this case. All right, so I'm going to start this. Let me see. Trying to set it to where I can watch it all. Hold on. Just chat amongst yourselves. Don't worry about me because I don't know shit. All right. So, number one, here, I got to hit play. So here's how I did this, y'all. Wait, that's showing. Can y'all see where it says number one, or do y'all just see it blown up? Oh, never mind. I'm not going to admit to what I just did. All right. I know, Sky. I know you need, it's so frustrating. The whole thing with Miranda, and we're going to see it. We're going to see this as we go through this. So officially, we're going to start this now. Okay. Again, this is, how do I have it labeled? 1 through 139, I think. Yeah, it should be just in the middle. Like, see the number one, like, by Miranda's face. Yeah. Did they get rid of super stickers? I don't even know. The fridge is clean. Good job, Sarah Lopez. I'm proud of you. You got something to look. I swear I'll start all these projects. I'll never get it done. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit play. How I did this was I put it in my editor and I just put it in there and set each one for like, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds. So it's just going to kind of play through. We'll talk about them as they go. And that's that. But I see here that it kind of cut off the bottom to where y'all can't see. The bottom there. Hold on. I guess I could go back for it to be this way, but then thank you, Bunny. So they do have super stickers. Thank you, Bunny, so much as I'm figuring this out.
Thank you for the love and the money while we keep covering this dummy. It keeps this little channel growing so we can keep this crazy going. From the bottom of our hearts, we love you so dang much.
All righty. I can't see the bottom of that. I'm thinking I'm going to need to. Damn it. I didn't want to do that because it makes it harder to see. Let me see real quick. Is there a way to make this bigger other than doing the whole... Oh, I can speed this up when I play it. That's good to know. Okay, so basically, the first one, the very first statement that 7M has put in this new amended complaint is the 7 mountains of influence, a Pentecostal belief to take over the world. Hold on. Yeah, I haven't figured out how I'm gonna bear with me. Okay, so here's the statement that, let me see. It's very small. If I do it bigger, all right, whatever. If it cuts off a little bit, oh well, right? Okay, so I'm gonna hit play. All right, I think I've got my shit together. Thank you, Donna, so much. We wouldn't love you any other way. Oh, there's people that are like, get your shit together before you hit play. Listen, sir, ma'am, whoever you are telling me this kind of shit. Donna loves me the way that I am. And it's going to happen. And thank you, Skynet, for Unitopia, for sending, for gifting one gifted Southern Mud membership. Whoever received that, she's in the chat. You could tell them thank you. Duck and run. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So yes, all right. So basically, we're just going to kind of go through this. I'm going to show y'all one through, and we'll just kind of chat through as we get through them. And then whenever we're done, and we'll get off for the day, and then we'll continue on. But one statement that, okay, so this is number one. She tagged Miranda Derrick in this, which is kind of shitty, right? She says, @It's Miranda Derrick has allegedly cut off contact with everyone in her life and lives inside a gated home. She's not contacting anyone from her life. Okay, it's that sentence that 7M says is defamatory. And it's from that post I showed you at the very beginning. So if I show the beginning of the post, that means that something on that part of the post, like whatever she titled it, whatever she put in the picture, it means that that statement that's in there is part of, like, that statement, they're considering defamatory. I mean, you'll see as it goes through, what it shows different things. But, and then also for number one, the 7M theology believes that apostles receive direct revelations from God, placing followers in submission to these revelations. This is not biblical at all. 7M is dangerous theology. So 7M is claiming that as that's their first. She tagged Miranda, and she's saying that, she doesn't have any of her own free will, and that 7M is not biblical at all. Their beliefs aren't, and it's dangerous theology. Here's number two. She tags B-Dash. She says, @B-Dash claims that his management is not a nonprofit and that there is no church. This claim is 100% false. So there she is, stating something as fact by saying it's 100% false. 7M Films was started last year by Shirley Kim and Robert Shin. Robert Shin is also the registered agent of Shekinah Church, which is a nonprofit. The church was founded in 1994. Robert Shin is listed as the CEO of the church. He is also listed as an executive with the management company. His son Isaiah does all the production for the dancers. using religion to control time, money, and resources of dancers that were vulnerable to abuse due to their economic status screams predatory. But that's just my opinion. Records don't lie. And then these were the hashtags that they included: cults, nonprofit, scams, influencers, B dash. It's Miranda Derrick. So this is number 2. And again, this is February. Okay, so this was February of 2022. That second one was. Without, she says the dancers managed by, this is the third one. Obviously, you see the numbers here. You can tell what's highlighted is what is the only statement out of this post. So like where it says Vic and Aubrey Fisher reveal that the music is selected by Chloe, that's not included. They're not saying that that's defamatory. And it's so funny, y'all, because when the original summary judgment was granted in part and denied in part, it was kind of in Katie Joy's favor, but she wanted a motion to reconsider. So the judge said, yes, that's fine. I'll grant that. So Katie Joy filed a motion to reconsider, and the judge is like, yeah, okay, I can see where you think that this needs to be specified. So 7M has the right to amend their complaint. And now look at the deep shit Katie Joy's in. So they go back, and this is me showing you exactly what let's say all of these go to trial. They're not going to, okay? Majority of them may, I don't know. But let's just say all of these go to trial. Where you see it highlighted, that's going to go to trial. That's their statement they say is defamatory. The jury more than likely won't see anything else. So the dancers managed by 7M Films Management don't pick their own music, sets, clothes, or dances. And then this part of it they consider defamatory. Behind the scenes of the shoots shows the dancers show up to dance. Everything else is produced for them. They are not in charge of the content they create, what they wear, the music they dance to, or the sets they dance on. And still part of that is, do you have one or two statements that you think are the worst? You know what are the worst ones, Rabbit? Are when we get towards, this is where it's so screwed up. This is why Katie's panicking, right? Because the first statements, the 1 through 85, yeah, they were bad. I mean, bad enough to cause her to be sued, right? The ones that are really bad are like when she was on News Nation and around that time, where she actually says as a fact that he is running a sex trafficking ring. And we'll get to those way later. We're going to go through these. We're going to go through them slowly because we got nothing but time, because this shit's going to drag on for a long time. Right? So Katie Joy she has to be in panic mode going, okay, now there's 212 statements. What am I going to do to get this judge to dismiss some of them, to drop some of them? Some of these need to be struck. What is she going to do here? This is why there's going to be time in this. Katie's not going to be happy about this. Would you? I mean, God, this is bad. Like, these statements are kind of shitty, but once we get towards the end, it's really bad. So like this one says, is their content real? Absolutely not. She's saying that their content is fake. This is highly curated content that repeats the same dances, music, and outfits. Many of the dancers post videos from the same shoots days and weeks apart. They repeat dances to the same songs. This is formula to go viral, get views and followers. Not that they have talent, right? Not that Miranda and James are talented and these dancers are talented. All while subtly recruiting for a church, allegedly. And then she has all these hashtags that the judge says, are going to be considered part of the post. You can see this, right? It's not showing on my end. Tell me you can see what I'm showing where it says, well, now it says the number 4. You can see this, right? Where it says number 4. She's so dumb. That's when an entertainment production company does, right? Hey, SD, you didn't get a notification? There's some of my channels I'm not getting notifications to. Just go click out or like reset it, like unsubscribe, resubscribe. I lost a couple of subs too, and I don't know. Sometimes I'll notice I'm unsubbed from certain channels. I don't know what's up with YouTube, but I'm still grateful you're here. Allegedly won't save her. She did that early on, right? Okay, thank you, Rabbit. You see it. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you, Renelle. Thank you, Mary. Hey, Mary. B-Dash is a victim of the shins. He was also used to lure Miranda in. That's gonna be bad. And we're only on number 4, y'all. They needed women dancers. The recent accusations by a fake account saying Miranda cut ties with her family before her involvement with 7M is false. They've been grooming her for years. That's terrible. Grooming. They've been grooming her for years. They've most likely made her believe that her family was abusive and that her friends would never understand. So in her hashtags, she hasn't started using hashtag sex trafficking yet, but we will get to that. Rabbit, you're probably right. And I think you would have a good understanding of that. She says it's my speculation that her medication makes her so manic about all this stuff.
But it sounds
okay. Like so did I skip number 5? If some of them aren't in here, it's okay. And I'm also going to say this. I just have to say this, that this is to the best of my ability that I took everything that is in the new amended complaint and put it here. If I got some of it wrong, it's not going to be anything that's going to affect anything. It would be very small, but I'm just here to say that it could not 100% be perfect. I think it is, but I'm not going to say that it is. Does that make sense? So if we see one missing, it could be that I couldn't find it or something like that. No big deal, because we're going to be going over a couple hundred of these. It is so good to see so many OG names in the chat. I appreciate it too, Gingerly. I really do. We'll catch the rest later. My services are needed. Love you, Renelle Smith. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Southern Mutton and beautiful people in chat. Have a good day, Renelle. Okay, so let's listen to this. This is, I don't know how long this is, but whatever she's saying here, they took specifically out of this live stream that Katie did. This is still on her channel, on her page. A lot of these are, we'll know which ones aren't. All right. So let's see what she has to say.
What's happening here is illegal.
Is the volume up loud enough on that?
And the information I'm receiving is making me feel like human trafficking is happening. And that concerns me. Robert is the pastor, and he believes that he's getting prophecies from God. And he's asking them to commit all of their time, their money, their effort to God. And that it's an all-in project. They are cut off from anyone that's a doubter because they're trying to build their sanctuary, which scares me, you guys. A sanctuary is like a commune. And did you guys know what happened when Jim Jones built his sanctuary? Usually when cults go to the sanctuary side of things and they create their little communes, things can get really out of control.
Katie Joy.
Really, really fast.
Everyone
I talked to said that the
Jim
post
Jones.
About the Wilkins being abusive and like racism, saying that he didn't like that his daughter was dating a black man. They say that's 100% false.
She brought race into it this early on.
Not true. And that they're not racist, and that's not the concern.
This is from
that he doesn't actually write that.
This is from February of 2022, y'all. Hey, Bean. You started 1 hour ago. I knew you would cover this, but I didn't get notified. Bean, all we did was just go over the judge granted the motion to amend the complaint. So that will take, it has the 212 statements. The judge didn't knock anything off. The judge said that that it will be, that they have the right to file that new amended complaint because it involves the same parties, the same alleged conduct, etc., the same cause of action, and that Katie failed to kind of argue that. Her arguments will come later. So it will be, it is granted. They can file it. They have 10 days to file this new amended complaint, right? Which will trump the old one. And then it'll be 212 statements. Now we're going to start seeing motions from Katie Joy. Probably she said she was going to file a special motion to dismiss, and then I'm sure we'll see another motion for a summary judgment, and she's going to try to do everything she can to get some of those statements knocked off of there. And what we're doing now is we're looking from number 1. Y'all, this took so much time, I can't even tell y'all. From number 1 all the way to 212. And I only clipped the statements that, like, for instance, in this live stream that Katie Joy did, 7M put the timestamps in their amended complaint. So anything I play that is her talking, that's the timestamp 7M put in their complaint. If it's highlighted out of a big post, only those sentences, only those statements are what 7M considered to be defamatory. I did this back in February. I remember I had a bunch of time on my hands, so I started putting this together slowly. So luckily I did. And then I knew that it would be pointless to even play it all until we knew that these 212 statements were going to be the new complaint, which is awesome. Just drag it out in hopes Robert Shin will get arrested. We also said that in the beginning. So anybody that missed that in the beginning, Robert Shin technically has until July 6th to be indicted. And I'm here to tell you, my belief is he's not going to be indicted. I firmly believe, and I have reason to believe, that his money was returned, whether it be in all or in part, I don't know, but that there's not going to be an indictment. But I can't prove that because it's not in writing, because his case is sealed. It was just investigation, so it's federal and it's sealed, right? But what we can see was the stipulated agreements between Robertson's attorneys and the government regarding that $105,000 that was seized. If we see a filing, and I check Pacer regularly to see if we see a civil filing against that $105,000, then that means that, yeah, Robert Shin's more than likely going to be indicted. Okay. But that has not happened. Nothing is showing that he's been indicted. What's showing to me is that he actually got his money back, and that is bad for Katie Joy. But technically, in black and white, once we get to July 6th and he has not been indicted, oh man, that's bad for Katie Joy. I already know it is, but I can't prove it, right? Until Robert comes out publicly and says something, or there's a filing that'll show, which it won't. We know that this last stipulated agreement for extension extended it until July 6th. It's my understanding and belief that they've already come to an agreement, okay, that we don't need to wait till July 6th. But catch what I'm saying? Can't really say it because we don't have it in black and white. But let's finish seeing what Katie Joy says here. Again, this is number 5, I believe, of 212.
That way. I'm going to say this with kindness, but people say that he's a nice guy, but he isn't well read, isn't super academic.
Talking shit on
and
B-Dash.
Doesn't really get on a deep
How
level.
racist is this,
One
y'all?
of his friends told me today is he just doesn't have that layer of detail. They will not respond. So I think for me to try to get a comment from them will be futile. It won't matter what they say because it could be their managers.
She is such a piece of shit. Shouldn't he be in prison now or have his money back? That's what I'm saying. Like I said, up until July 6th, but I think he's gotten his money back. We just don't know. It's just not public information. Carol Ann, I'm so sorry. 19-year-old buddy. Yeah, mine was 13. Good. I wish I would have gotten 19 years. I know. I still cry a lot. Mine's been 3 years. I got the best little replacement, y'all. He is adorable. He is great, but you can't replace him. He fills the void, and he's amazing, aren't you, buddy? Yeah. As he lays right next to me. But yeah, I get it. And Katie is well educated, right, Christine? Don't you wish we were all as educated as her? I think, Bobby, she's talking about Robert. I mean, she's talking about B-Dash. Did I say Robert? She's talking about B-Dash, which, in my opinion, shows slight racism, but that's just my opinion.
And
But yeah, Robert Shin is a medical doctor. 16.
anyways, that's sort of what's happening. So my thing here is that if you know information and
I
you
know
have an
it's scary, isn't it,
experience
Utopia?
and you've witnessed things that are troubling or concerning, please use your platform and speak up. I will elevate your voice.
Oh, will you? Will you? Okay, so that was, yeah, that was. That's Katie Joy saying that she's going to do this for everybody. She's going to elevate their voice. And look, she's the only one that got sued. And well, no, she's not the only one that got sued. The LA case. I think that's going to be settled soon. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's just my opinion. But yeah. Yep. She's going to elevate their voice. Dear Toyota, you are supporting a cult. So see how I put the arrow on that? That statement right there. 7M is considering defamatory. I know, Bunny. Brands need to know who they are involved with. This is a big one, y'all. We've been talking about this for a long time, and obviously, this is, you know, Katie's like, no, I have every right to tell these brands that they're supporting a cult, and it's my right. And we'll see how they argue that. We'll see what the jury thinks of that. But as of now, number 7 is brands need to know who they're involved with, and it's why it's super important for people to speak out. Brands do not want any connection to abuse or the appearance of mind control or human trafficking. Oh, connection to abuse or the appearance of mind control or human trafficking. I know it's scary to stand up, but the right thing to do is to speak up with what you know and do it without fear. The truth will never hurt you. And then she tagged Toyota. Oh, this is a problem they had in California. Even with anti-SLAPP, Robert can still sue if they mess with his contracts. You know, the whole thing in California, Katie Joy makes it sound like, sorry, I just made a bunch of noise. Katie Joy made it sound like, you know, the anti-SLAPP worked in their favor. It didn't. It didn't. Okay, so here, her saying,
Miranda, no one has seen her drive. She doesn't drive anymore, I guess. They said she's usually being driven by people and dropped off by people, and that all eyes are always on her. And then when the dancers are out, they're being like monitored by the management. One of B Dash's friends, I talked to him today, and he said flat out that he asked B Dash. So B Dash apparently blocked his brother. Okay. And so his brother reached out to B Dash, and B Dash and says, "Oh, well, you blocked me." And B Dash was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't block you. I don't actually run my social media." The managers are running their social media, which is what a lot of people have been feeling because they send messages and they can't get anyone through. We don't even know factually if Miranda's married. Pimped out dancer. So they had sent him to the
pimped out dancer. Hey, Crash Out. One of the Crash Outs here. How are you doing, Crash Out Angel? Angel. I didn't get this last time, I swear. Good to see you. I know nobody in here is really following. If Flash is in here, Flash does. Following the Gabby Jacobson shit show. Oh my God. She made me so mad. I mean, she always makes me angry, but yesterday she made me so mad. The Crash Out crew is Crash Out Kaylee on YouTube. She covers a lot of the, all the Gabby Jacobson stuff, along with some other creators. And I've been following that very closely. So thank you for joining. I'm doing great, my friend. You need a break, right? I'm telling you, the Gabby, take a break with this shit show. This bitch is just is bad, but it's different level of bad, right? Yeah, they do. Bunny, her eyes do look dead. Look at this picture. Look at that. Look at that. Hold on. Where did I go?
The studio to dance. He was watched like a hawk the whole time. He was not allowed to interact with anyone. Hannah had to answer all of the questions. He couldn't talk to anyone, couldn't speak to anyone. And then he has to leave.
Look at this
He
shit.
sent cookies to everyone every day for lunch, but he couldn't speak to them.
You don't know this.
They think that he wanted to speak to them, but he couldn't because of the control he was under. And so every single day he purchased cookies for them. And they felt like he was being pimped out to dance. Miranda is like, never.
I mean, she's sitting there saying that as fact. Yeah, that's so true, Bean. She's sitting there saying this is fact, right? That, oh, but she heard it from somebody. And that's where this is going to be a problem, y'all. This is where this is going to be a problem. Where's your source that told you this? You can't just relay bullshit. You gotta fact check. And as we know, she doesn't fact check shit. How long have they been in court now? 4 years. She was sued April 5th of dancing for cookies, right, Bean? She was sued April 5th of 2022. But what she's done, and everybody in this chat will tell you, what she's done to these dancers that she's talking about here. I don't know if you were ever familiar with 7M and Miranda and James Derrick. They were TikTok dancers. You would dance for a cookie. She ruined their careers. If you're interested in it, I've got some videos on my channel that if you want to watch the ones about Miranda, that'll really fill you in. It's awful. It's awful. What'd you say, Rabbit? Let me see. Hold on. So she will have to show a source for each statement. Pretty much. She has to show her. Basically, what she said, her argument in one of these is mothership. I'm thinking not. Who our sources are, and she's basically saying, look, I was told this. But it's like, did you fact check it? Do you not? Because listen to how she's stating all this. Listen to what she's about to say about Miranda.
We're allowed to be alone. Ever.
Buddy,
Like,
why are you scratching?
people are watching her constantly. She's not allowed to drive anymore. That's what they said. She's picked up because I don't like bullshit fucking scammers that fucking hurt kids and steal their fucking dream. And they're probably giving them a small portion of money to keep them quiet, like just enough to keep them satisfied. But I don't think the pay is equal. And I'm worried about the trauma that they're going through. The engagement video is staged.
Isn't that funny that she's worried about the trauma they're going through? She caused them so much trauma. So much trauma. And these videos are from February of 2022. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this, these are from 2022. This is why she got sued originally. Okay. After she was sued, she kept on talking and she did some dirty shit. It gets so bad. This is mild. It gets so bad. We're just now going through all the statements that hopefully the jury is going to see. And this is a reminder of everything she started out with. Christine. And she says she's a journalist. It's almost embarrassing. Like, well, it is embarrassing. She claims she's a journalist, an investigative journalist. She has no background in it, no schooling, no education in it. This court even said Katie Joy identifies herself as a journalist. Not that we see her as a journalist. Right, Michelle? I mean, listen to this shit.
I don't think they're married. I don't think they're even married.
One of the big things that's going to happen, y'all, sorry, my dog's walking around me. She's loud. One of the big things that's going to happen here is regarding this marriage, their marriage. She said they were never married. She stated as fact they were never married. Then in discovery, she got a copy of their marriage certificate, their marriage license. And she put it out publicly. In discovery, she got a copy of it and she put it out on her channel. Put it out on her channel. And then she said, oh, well, they forged it. Okay, so there is one that's in existence, but it's forged. And we'll see all those statements later. But she is like, hunkering down on this whole idea that they're not married. They are not married. She told everybody they're not married. That's what's going to get her in trouble. Well, there's a lot of things that are going to get her in trouble. That's going to be a doozy, in my opinion.
I'm not going to stop sharing the truth. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. It's like slavery. That's what human trafficking is. It's slavery. It's forced servitude. So they are slaves to the person that's making them work. And until one of them declares themselves as a victim, it's going to be so hard for the FBI or anyone to prove. There's a lot of LLCs that they've opened, which tells me and makes me feel like there's shell money. Like, anytime there's a ton of organizations being opened and they all are like, there's no websites and they seem to be like shells.
So now she's accusing him, and we know this, but this is where she kind of started accusing him of money laundering. And what she's doing is she's implying that, sorry, my dogs are getting very restless. Go lay down, baby. Sorry, y'all. She's implying that he's got this human trafficking situation going on, right? But by saying that he's covering it up with these shells companies, and she hasn't said it outright yet. Yeah, right. You're not allowed to do that with documents you receive discovery. I'm no lawyer, but I do know that. Most people do know that. And she said, no, it was public information. It wasn't. My understanding is they proved that it was not public information. That's going to hurt her in court. All these things that she's saying, oh my God, crash out. Like, she accused if you stick to this and you follow the live streams, you're going to be shocked. The people in chat will tell you. Yeah, right, Christina. And Todd is her, she has a husband named Todd. She's making it up as she goes along here. Yeah, and you can watch it in her eyes, right? You can see it.
Times that there's a lot
You
of
can tell she's making it up as she
changing
goes.
hands, use different LLCs to launder money through.
Okay, so here's number 10.
It concerns me that there are two men that have children that are not really talking to their dads or even seeing their dads. And while their dads are out on TV being famous and posting like content that's family friendly and alluring.
Oh yeah, this has been going on for 4 years for defamation. So yeah, it's already headed to trial. We've just had all these snags. But 7M was able to amend their complaint and add all the shit she said after the original complaint, and it's bad. She even went on News Nation and said all of this. So yeah, I mean, it's been going on for 4 years. She only let it get worse because she could not shut her mouth. It's like a religious commitment to them. Yeah.
To children. They have their own children that are not, talking to dad.
To never settle with her. Yeah, they're not going to settle with her.
It seems kind of predatory that, in a way, the same person is the one that had people follow him to one church, and now they're following him to this other church, and they're having their girlfriends get into the church. It's very predatory to me. I think this church is having a harder time getting the girls to co-sign to their beliefs. And I think that's why they've had to try to maybe trick girls to get in here. Yeah, we should be protecting all of the dancers, not just the ones that are affected. We need to get those ones out of this, but then we need to prevent any new dancers from getting involved in this.
Yeah, he's giving them cookies.
Yeah, they are all adults.
Yeah, right. He shows up with cookies. Hell, must be a whole fucking cult, right? Is KJ talking to her family yet? No. I think Renelle might know more about that. Rabbit, do you know, has she posted more boo-hoo about her family trauma and how she's never gonna reconnect with them? Yeah, she should put this kind of effort into reconciling with their own. No, she'll never will, because this is her content, it's drama. And it's cost her, for those of you that don't know, that are new here, she's already forked out over about $200,000 so far in this lawsuit. And it's only going to get more expensive because now she's got these new motions to file. And prep for trial and trial. Like, this is going to be so expensive. So if we're frustrated with it and we're like, oh, this is so bad, like we've been waiting forever, this is a win in a lot of ways, y'all. This is bad for Katie Joy, how much she's had to spend, the stress it's put on her, the shit she has done to these people, though. It's all deserved.
It's being manipulated. Who's removing 7M from their bios?
See, she's getting information in her chat, and then she kind of like takes it as fact and runs with it.
Well, yeah, the Shins have been looking for
just shitty lawyers crash 100%.
Out. 100%. That's what I'm saying is like the Shins are a huge problem.
She brags about having the best legal team ever.
What makes me upset,
which is so funny because everybody that's in here knows this. She brags about having the best legal team, and we're all like, you filed that? Like, how did your attorney sign off on that? We think that Katie Joy writes most of her stuff and that her attorney signs off on it, but there's been a lot of errors, haven't there, lately in some of these? Not a lot, but there's been errors in these filings, and I just don't understand how attorneys signed off on some of this stuff. She has to have shitty lawyers to sit on the internet and say these things. Oh, you have no idea about this woman. Google her. Yeah, it's a deep rabbit hole. The people in this chat have been following this shit. Y'all can put in here what year you've been following her since, but definitely since what, 2019, 2020. 2022, at the very beginning of 2022 is when she started this shit. She's also been sued by Todd Chrisley. You know who Todd Chrisley is? She's sued by Todd Chrisley. They came to a settlement agreement. She broke that settlement agreement when he went off to prison. And he's saying he's going to come back and resue her. She was also 2018, Bobby says. 6 or 7. She's been following this shit since 2019. 2022, says Rabbit. I've been on it since 2022 myself. Christine says 2019. So, she's also sued by Toddy Westbrook. So this is her third defamation lawsuit that's gone through this court in Minnesota. Look, this goes to show you how vile Katie Joy is. Who stopped doing Kennel Up Idaho? She stopped doing yard work to come in here and let you know how vile Katie Joy is. How you doing, Kennel Up? 2019, says Goose. 2015. Katie, yeah, because see, Katie was on. So when you go back to 2015, that's going back to her Facebook, right? And going back to when she was writing for, oh gosh, who was she writing for? I can't think. But anyways, you don't know when, but when she went after LB, I lost. Yeah. Pathios. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So again, this is, y'all, she's saying all of this in February. This might be March. I think this is March.
Set is that there's young women that are being preyed on. That makes my heart hurt.
Makes your heart hurt, really, bitch? Like, their hearts are forever hurt because she's ruined it. See, here's another one. So this is number 11. Y'all, we still got 200 more. We're not doing it all today. We're slowly going to go through this as I go live. We're going to go through all these and remind you. Fake marriages. Neither couple are legally married. Tie-Dyes is still married to the mother of his son. So she's saying that all the marriages are arranged and fake. Therefore, Miranda and James are not technically married, according to her. And, you know, these things are like, how are you able to prove? How are you able to prove this? She never was. And that, if anything's going to really be bad for her, it is the marriage situation that she did. KJ doesn't have a heart, Goose says. Yep, I agree. That's my opinion as well. So here's number 11, fake marriages. Okay, so this is the post that went along with that, underneath that picture. Fake marriages, fake content, lies. A friend of Gordon tells us that Gordon and Alexandra are not married. Tie-Dyes is still legally married to the mother of his 4-year-old son. While the couples may be dating, they are posing as married couples on social media. This gives me hope that Miranda and James are not legally married. Why? Why is it your fucking business? Like, this is, I know this probably makes Rabbit scream too. The two of them have provided inconsistent statements to friends. Legally, Miranda appears as Wilking in everything I can find, and then crossed fingers. And so, everything that's highlighted here is what is um, in the amended complaint, and they included these hashtags. And within these hashtags, it says trafficking, forced labor. So that's bad. KJ's like the National Enquirer. She is. She's a trash rag. Isn't that what Todd Chrisley called her, a trash rag? They're all serious allegations. And it gets so much worse from here. It doesn't matter if they're married or not. It doesn't. I guess she's thinking, oh, well, there's that's a safe way out for Miranda because she's it's a safe way out for Miranda because she's been caught up in all this. You know what I mean? It gets her so riled, and it gets her so riled up. And not only that, she's like, it excites her.
The reason why no one's talking, and the reason why when they go on set and they go to shows and they are at rehearsals, and the reasons why they're not talking to people is because they're not allowed to. So Daniel Joseph.
How do you know they're not allowed to? Okay, and again, what's clipped out of here, and you'll see where I switch it over to where it skips a part in her live. That's only because I'm only showing the parts that 7M are putting in, that have put in this amended complaint that they consider defamatory. Yeah, she's gone after all channels that cover same content. Apparently, someone said that that Charlotte got struck again. I know that Katie struck her recently. And everything that I'm using here is from the lawsuit. Okay, let me just say that out loud. Everything that I'm putting on here is from a public lawsuit. This is not just Katie's content anymore. This is all in the lawsuit. Okay, I'm saying I should put that across the screen. Hang on a second. I got to mute real quick. I got to adjust where I'm sitting. You can hear me now, right? Let me see. Make sure. Yeah, my mic's back on. Okay. So just to put that out there, all of this is from a public lawsuit. This is not, Katie can say it's her content if she wants to, but it's no longer her content. She's being sued for this. This is all on public record. Okay. Just put that out there. I need to remember to.
Is their mentor, and he is underneath the pastor. So when the pastor cannot be there, Daniel Joseph, who's the producer,
it's going to get wild
videos, when you see him tagged.
Oh, yeah. If you're talking about
Daniel
Katie, yes,
Joseph
you might be talking about
is,
Duggars. Yeah, thank you, Rabbit. From a publicly available lawsuit, people.
Daniel Joseph is underneath him, and so he's the producer on all of these videos. Okay, they don't get to do anything unless Daniel says anything. So
unless Daniel says anything.
Someone reached out to me that's not in the group but has heard, and then I had other corroborating statements from other people that they are not allowed to do anything unless they consult Daniel first. That includes if they want to buy a shirt, if they want to see their family, if they want to talk to their family, if they want to see their friends, if they want to go somewhere, if they want to spend any amount of money, if they want to really do anything, Daniel has to let them know. They don't really know.
See, like the problem here is she's stating everything as fact. There's not, there's no proof of that. I'm going to let this play while I do something real quick.
What all they're making, because it changes, and apparently Daniel controls the money too. So if they follow the rules, they get jobs and they get money. If they don't follow the rules and they don't submit and obey and do everything that they say, they're pulled out of jobs. They lose access to friends. They might not be able to see people that they want to see. And people are complying because People are complying because if they don't, I'm sorry, I'm deleting people.
Yeah, because they're not agreeing with you.
People are complying because they don't want to get in trouble. Unfortunately, when someone's brainwashed, they don't always think like that. Or if they're afraid of physical threat or harm, they might not do those things. Tim, the dancers who aren't part of the group, who are aware of this and continue to work with 7M are going to enable this abuse. I agree. So if you're a dancer and you're collabing, I would just not collab with them. I mean, they're going to try to recruit you. Even if you get attention, it's not going to help. You're going to be enabling these people that have no control over their lives. And it might feel like you're hurting your friend and you're hurting their business, but all of these people will be successful without this, right?
What number are we on? 14. That was supposed to go across like as a ticker. Why is it not doing it as a ticker? Oh. Y'all, I'm screwing around over here. I did it. Yep. Oh, I'm so proud. I'm just kidding. All right. So here we're at number 14. 7M has the dancers filming so frequently that choreography is recycled. Give the dancers a break. She looks to the left often too when clearly making up scenarios. Her eyes give her away so bad. She makes money for YouTube. You know, if you're saying like, you know, a lot of people are like, when is she going to lose her YouTube? And then here's the post that went with that. Like when people are saying, when is she going to lose YouTube? I mean, she does everything right on YouTube. She follows TOS to a T. She knows what she's doing. She does all of her bullshit on Instagram. That's where the majority of the statements, like 85% of everything comes from TikTok or comes from Instagram, small part of it from TikTok and a very small part of it from YouTube. Oh yeah, when she's drunk, she's an even worse monster. We're going to see some of those. Some of those are coming up. She's extremely vicious. That's the real Katie Joy. Try to get another special needs mom who's struggling arrested. Oh, y'all talking about I love how I just come in and butt myself into sometimes y'all have like y'all's own little conversation going on and I just butt in and I got it all wrong. I'm just going to see my way out of that. Yeah, she's careful on YouTube, isn't she, Bunny Bunny? Yeah, if anybody has any questions about the Duggars and stuff, Rabbit from the Closet is the one to go for that. I have, and Renell Smith. I know nothing about the Duggars and everything, but I know Rabbit has followed them for a long time. So if you have any questions about the Duggars and everything, even related to Katie Joy, yeah, ask Rabbit. So here's the post that went with that. It says, today we learned that the dancers are worked constantly by the management. Due to demands, the dancers are forced to recycle choreography from one video to the next. This variation by Miranda is seen over and over. Who gives a shit? The pastor doesn't care as long as they make money, allegedly. Robert Shin also told them that God told them the magic to the algorithm for videos. And then they included all of the hashtags in this one in the complaint. And this is March of 2022. How would she have Dancing for the Devil, 7M TikTok cult yet? Do y'all see that? This is from March 2022 and coming soon, Dancing for the Devil. I didn't think they knew the name of the series yet. Y'all see this? Why am I so shocked by this? Oh, I know, Goose. I agree with that regarding LB sucks. Yeah, it's good to see Rabbit back. Abby Lee Miller would kick her ass. Of course, how is she? Is she still like? Is her health really bad? And she in a wheelchair? Was she paralyzed or something? Or was she just in a wheelchair because her health was so bad? Abby Lee Miller. Let's not go off on that tangent. I'm just asking. Barney, why are you scratching? It's just so interesting to me as I'm looking at this. I never noticed this before. And that's obviously why 7M included these hashtags down here, because it's talking about Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. Huh. Anyhow. You have serious doubts that Shin would have been raided without reports from Katie and her crew. Oh, yeah. And 7M has said that in some of their recent filings that, look, Amber Stabbig is not going to say that to the judge in a filing that these raids occurred due to Katie Joy's inciting people to contact FBI, local law enforcement, all the things. I don't think she would say that if they didn't have proof that things weren't being proven a certain way, if that makes sense. And that's just my speculation. So on this one, they wanted to point out that Katie Joy on this post says slavery still exists. Okay, so she's calling them slaves. And Robert Shin ultimately a slave driver. It says she tagged Spanx at Spanx. Do you support cults that control every single aspect of a dancer's lives? Their pastor controls everything they do and their money. Every decision is controlled by the pastor and his team. They are told to submit and obey. The pastor allegedly takes away privileges when they don't obey, including jobs, friends, church, family, etc. That cool with you? That cool with you? Asking for a friend. Shut the hell up. Shut up. Yeah, right, rabbits? See, it's funny how much we forget because this is from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, we forgot. But 7M has circled back around and has added this clearly, made it more clear, specified what parts they consider. And then they didn't include all the hashtags, but then the hashtags they included in this amended complaint is hashtag Robert Shin, hashtag trafficking, and hashtag forced labor. Oh, Rabbit, they can get her for so much. We're on number 15. And we know how bad it gets once she starts talking about them. Whenever the docuseries came out in the summer of 24? She started talking about Robert Shin really bad. And then when the raid happened in July of 25, KJ had that film outline in her head way before this blew up, and she used 7M to do it. It's just, and they all thought, not just Katie Joy, the other two from Instagram, those two as well, and the sisters, in my opinion, they all thought that this was going to get really big, that they were going to get something out of this docuseries, and it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. Didn't happen. What they thought was going to happen from it. And I think that pissed Katie Joy off bad. And you could see her start to really kind of spiral after the fact. And then it's like, contact law enforcement, contact the DA, contact the sheriff's office, contact the FBI. Yeah, and even if Shin loses on his complaint, the Derricks could still win. I mean, like she was expecting Robert to go off to prison, and then this was just going to fall apart. But let's say he did, which he's not, okay? That's my firm belief. I'm very firm in that he's not going to be indicted. I mean, you never say never. Never say never. Until July 6th, I probably shouldn't say that. But even if he did, Miranda and James could still sue. The upside of this taking so long is for Katie Joy's bank account drains more and more. Exactly, rainy days. Yes. We all think, oh, this sucks. No, it's a win because it's bad for Katie all the way around. And think about it, y'all. Because this took so long, Katie Joy started to talk about Robert Shin as a fact that he's a sex trafficker, as a fact that he was trafficking Miranda, as a fact he was running a ring. She said those things as facts, okay? If this would have shut down earlier on, they wouldn't have all that. And the fact that Robert Shin is more than likely not going to be indicted, all of those statements now are more than likely absolutely going to be considered defamation. And that is bad. That is so bad for her. That is why we're going to see her soon filing all these motions, do everything she can to get most of those, do whatever she can to get as many of those statements dropped and dismissed. Oh, yeah, she said he won't sue me. And if you do, what was that statement? You won't sue me. And if you do, everything's going to come out. I've got that. In fact, that's on here. I think that's part of this once we get to that part. Yeah, 7M is bleeding the pig no matter how things end up. That's right, Bunny Bunny. Why are you staring at me, buddy? I'll be done in just a minute, okay? He's staring at me like, what are you taking so long for? How long have we been on? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, we're going to end here. My dog is like, what are you doing? So let's remember we are at number 16. I'm going to finish reading 16, so we'll start at 17 on the next one. Each one of these adults or someone's loved one that are being exploited and abused by a church. It's made more egregious because the abuse is happening before our eyes on social media. When you are groomed into a cult, there is no such thing as just leaving. There's nothing ethical or normal about a pastor taking control of a member's life to the point they will have no free will. She's saying they have no free will. They're being exploited. They're being abused. They're being groomed. These are serious accusations. Serious accusations. So when we start up again, oh, hold on. There might be more on this one. Yeah. Then on this one, the only hashtags that they wanted in the minute complaint are Robert Shin, trafficking, and forced labor. Okay, so this is where we're going to stop. We're going to start at 17 on the next one. I will probably go live. Well, next week, I might have a busy week. So you know what? Maybe tomorrow we can go through some of this. Do y'all want to do this tomorrow? Does anybody want to do this tomorrow? Do y'all want to wait till next week? I've got my little buddy coming in to spend the week with me. I think I get her on Tuesday. And then I'm planning on taking her to a water park, planning on taking her roller skating. Tomorrow. I'll tell you what. I'm going to schedule a live for tomorrow at 2 o'clock for us just to catch up, see if any more filings were filed. We can just kind of start at 17, do a few of those, go on for however we feel it. And then I can do it again Monday. And then I think I won't be available Tuesday, probably through Friday. Unless something drops, like something big happens with the filings, then I'll come on and talk about that. But I'll have a teenager with me. I don't want her to hear any part of this because this is BS. And she enjoys to, she deserves to have all of my undivided attention while she's here. So water park. I'm so excited to go to water park, y'all. So I'm going to schedule a live for tomorrow, 2 p.m. my time, Central Standard. And I will plan on seeing you there. And thank you so much for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for those that gifted memberships. Thank you for super chats. Thank you for super stickers. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to end it here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, y'all.
It don't take a crystal ball to know how some stories end. Someone keeps saying opinions like facts, the courts start listening. Southern mutton don't predict nothing, we just watch and write it down. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you state it like a fact and never check it first, Southern mutton, watch it close from the courthouse ground. True, stay patient while the paper getting worse. Same routine, new headline phone. Same bold claims that the record don't want. She speak real loud, no maybe, no seems. Turn opinions into facts like the courtroom clean. I ain't wishing nothing, I just seen the signs. When the words outrun proof, it's a matter of time. History repeat when you don't learn yet. Of course, don't care what you meant, just what you said. When confidence louder than evidence be, that's when patterns start explaining things to me. Don't need a crystal ball to see it coming back around. When you speak like a verdict before the truth's found. Southern mutton in the case, boots firm on the tile. We don't chase drama, we just watch the file, yeah. Country rap calm, I don't glow to grin. I just read the docket when it rolled back in. She called it truth, call it just how it is. But courts draw lines where the talking ends. I ain't psychic, I'm observing. Facts don't bend cause a voice is urgent. From testimony tone to the written page. Same outcome when the pattern don't change. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing on. Lies like speed, truth like distance. One burns fast, one keeps existing. Don't need a crystal ball, don't need belief. When the law still runs on proof and receipts. Southern mutton watching through the courtroom glass, pointing out lies as they're saying it's facts. Yeah. This ain't prophecy, this ain't hate, just history watching itself repeat. When words get reckless, the courts get busy, and the truth always shows up right on time.